in a world that is constantly consumed by war, between insiders and scoopers battling on Twitter like little kids in a schoolyard, there is one team that can bring hope. A team that doesn't partake in petty rivalry. A team that sets their egos aside to bring you the scoops they get. A team that fights for enjoying the moment, not the flames of war. That team is Super Team Megaforce! A team that thinks Edward Lauder should play Captain Britain. A team that makes Syl laugh because it's infectious. A team that brought Mikey Sutton from out of the shadows. A team that tries to control TiVo's monologues. A team that for some reason lets that James guy play silly clips.
Yeah.
This is Super Team Megaforce! Super Team Megaforce! Just if you didn't know, that was me doing the narration. And James did that incredible clip to begin with.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So this is the very first Super Team Megaforce. So we're starting off Super Team Megaforce! And James is really going to use that. And so starting off with you and me, Mikey. How are you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to share this debut episode with Captain Britain himself. I mean, what a privilege this is. I mean,
yeah. Well, I need to get back into the gym before I can officially be called Captain Britain. But yeah, it's a pleasure doing this with you, Mikey. I'm really happy that we're finally doing this. That we started. We kind of did like I suppose it was the pre-show a couple of weeks back.
The pilot episode, maybe.
Pilot episode.
There you go.
And then we were workshopping names, and we came up with this Super Team Megaforce. And we've got you on. We've got Syl coming a bit later on, and then TiVo's coming in later on as well. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Red Lodge Crow in the chat. Lots of my Lords of the Long Boxes in the chat already. So he doesn't want you to drop a scoop until he's here. So, and they're talking of Captain Britain. Scoop is Captain Britain Corp. Yeah, well, scoop is Doctor Doom is coming. He's got all of them. Red Lodge Crow. Scoop is Blade movie in the works. So people seem to really be on all of that. Let's have a look at some of the newer comments that have come in. Reese is in the comments. Hello there. Hello, Reese. And then who else do we have? So we've got.
Hello there.
Jonathan Kazax is in the comments. Can't talk without saying hello to Kazax. So hello there, Kazax. Can you say Thunderbirds are goo?
Oh man, I thought he said something else for a second there.
Yeah, Thunderbirds are go.
We got a security breach here, James. So I was like, oh no, okay.
And we've got so many comments. Like people are any Deadpool news we've got. Will there be Novas from different universes? Who knows?
You never know.
And Colin there saying great intro, James. And I really have to give a hand to James.
Brilliant intro. Brilliant.
It's so good. And
I can't stop watching it. I'm like, I'm in a superhero movie now. Yeah.
I know, it's great. And Reese says, do I enjoy being up at 2 a.m., Reese? It's not something I want to make a habit of. Once every 2 weeks, I can do that. And then
I was up until 4 a.m. last night, like finishing a scoop for today. So.
Oh my god! Oh. Edward, maybe you can voice act an animated Captain Britain series. I would do that.
You have that voice, man. Too.
I would so do that. And then someone's already got a question. Hi guys, question guy here. Hello from Portugal. Hello, Eddie Gomez. I hope you're doing well. And I suppose now that I've said hello to everyone in the chat, that's something you have to do. You have to say hello to everyone in the chat. So,
hello all.
Hello all. I suppose I wanted to start off this show by talking a bit about your scoop that was dropped last night. It's a pretty big one. The fact that Zack Snyder's Justice League is no longer considered canon by by Warner Brothers. What's that about?
Well, there is this kind of I want private resentment towards, I wouldn't say him personally, but just a lot of his movies, mainly from Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich, and who've become kind of like the villains in many of our scoops lately.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Snyder fan.
Yeah.
And those words are from Zack Snyder himself. He said that his films, especially Justice League, are not canon, and he's frustrated. I mean, he actually said it's frustrating. I mean, rarely do you see a director be so candid like that towards, his employers, so to speak. And to me, I think whatever anger he's feeling, I think he's having a hard time keeping it under secrecy. I mean, it's coming out.
Oh, it definitely is. He's been. I mean, we already heard him talk about how he was upset with the way this film's been marketed.
Yeah.
There have been so many mistakes.
Like
the leak screens. Yeah, it was just crazy. the amount of mistakes going on. But basically, what your scoop was saying.
Yeah.
And actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about a scoop that we posted on Small Screen as well, and it kind of interlinks as well.
Yeah.
Because. Basically, it seems as though executives at Warner Brothers, this is what you've heard, no longer consider the Zack Snyder Justice League movies, or like the one that's coming out now, and potentially the ones he's going to do in the future, as DCEU canon. So it's going to be it's going to be like the other films that are coming out that Walter Hamada is in charge of, that are going to be now considered DCEU canon.
Yeah, they're now the unwanted stepchildren of DC. In a way, it's kind of like the way Kevin Feige treats the Marvel TV shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I didn't work on them, but at least he's more respectful towards them. I mean, as opposed to like, I know you made all these films, but guess what? They don't exist.
Yeah. And it's basically that's the way it's looking like. That's a very good analogy, actually, to talk about what we're not talking when we talk about the TV shows. It's not like WandaVision. It's the TV shows that came before that.
Like Iron Fist and
exactly. Yeah.
Luke Cage and all the shows.
I mean, the good thing with those shows is it looks like a lot of them are, like, at least the people involved, the actors per se.
They're coming back.
Jones.
What I find insulting is that Aquaman and Wonder Woman films are canon, even though they spun off from Snyder's work. I mean,
but also, even though Zack Snyder he was a producer on Wonder Woman 1984, and I believe
he didn't direct them, so therefore they're canon. He didn't direct them.
Yeah, and it's
they made money. So.
Yeah, exactly. They made a lot of money. We've got Retrograde Productions in the comments saying Zack should feel angry. Everyone ever since Man of Steel kept saying that DC Warner Brothers needs a Feige. Well, it was Zack. He mapped it all out. All that pre-prods for this universe, spending days and nights on this. It's very true. He's put so much work into all of this, and they're just kind of putting it to one side. Even if you don't like the films per se, like as much as like the Marvel films, for instance, he spent a lot of time on this, and it really does. I mean, we've spoken about this before. Not Kevin Feige. Zack Snyder isn't being paid to do Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is kind of crazy, really, because he's put a lot of money in it. I'm pretty sure he's worked out some other deal where he gets money based on how well the movie does. And he probably has another deal. At least this is what we were told, that now it seems as though he's going to be working more with HBO Max and AT&T. Yeah. So I suppose that the scoop that we posted the other night on Small Screen, which kind of interlinks with your scoop, was that Justice League 2 is in the works, is in active development, was what we were told.
But it's going to be the same thing. Yeah,
but it's going to be on HBO Max, and it seems as though that's the way it's going.
Yeah, what I'm hearing about one too, it will get the mini series, or the chapter treatment that the Snyder Cut didn't. Well, it was originally supposed to get, but they changed it to a 4-hour film. but it will get that treatment for the sequel, and it might not even be called 2. It might be called something else.
Yeah, it
Next
might
thing
be.
is Justice League something whatever
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
it might. It might be called Zack Snyder's Super Team Megaforce.
There you go. You know what? I wouldn't miss it for the world. Mephisto might show up. Who knows?
Exactly. Reese in the
Snyder
comments.
Vision. There you go. Snyder Vision.
Reese in the comments says Justice League is canon until it isn't. So technically, I think what you said in your article was that actually Warner Brothers is now considering Justice League to be canon.
Yeah, it's really like kind of hypocrisy because they're saying how awful it was, but it's canon. It's like, so this new better version isn't canon, but the inferior version in theaters that disappointed at the box office is considered canon. How is that not personal? I mean,
I know it's so personal.
It's very personal.
I'm also starting to. I have been asking around about what was actually going on with the Zack Snyder Justice League being leaked on HBO Max, and I'm getting the impression that it was. I mean, that it seems as though it was an internal error, but it was something that I was told that the 2 hours that it took for them to take it down is kind of indicative of how much they don't care about this movie.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
It's kind of. I think it's madness, really. We've got Kieran Bug, who's joined us in the chat. He says, Zach did well with the task he was given by Warner Brothers. He put love and care into the movies like Feige has with Marvel, but Warner Brothers were too impatient for him to build up to, and it was their downfall. He's right. They wanted him to give them the Avengers straight away, basically.
Well, Warner Brothers were so behind. In greenlighting a lot of these projects. They didn't want to do Wonder Woman at all. Like, how can you make it succeed? They thought, hey, it's a female superhero film that's going to bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were basing it on Catwoman, which is a terrible movie. Had nothing to do with it being a female superhero movie. It was just awful.
But the funny thing about that, though, is that I will give Warner Brothers credit where it's due, is that they were the first studio to greenlight a female superhero movie, I'm talking specifically about Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman ended up being really good. And then you talk about what happened. I think I can't remember his name. The old president of Marvel. I'm forgetting his name now. But there was that memo that was sent around Marvel saying, like, look at the movies that have been made in the past involving women. So there was Elektra, I think they talked about, and Catwoman, saying that just female superheroes don't do well. But the actual thing they forgot to take into account was those 2 movies were just bad. It wasn't the fact that they were.
I Pro Mother who said that. I think it was.
It was.
So terrible example to give out. I mean, those are very bad movies.
I know. It's like, but that's the thing. It's like, I also think without Zack Snyder, that movie wouldn't. I think he was behind it. He was really pushing it.
He was pushing it. That's how it got made. I mean, and he gets no credit for that. You have this $1 billion franchise that Zach helped put together. Let's not give him credit for that.
Reese says, did you see the article where Ray Fisher talks about what Joss Whedon said? Almost word for word what was typed in that email from 2018. Did you see that by any chance? Or
no,
not?
I did not see that. No.
I didn't see that, but I mean, it's quite difficult to keep up with what everything that Ray Fisher says. He says a lot. He does say a lot.
But here's what I found odd that people have asked me about this. So Aquaman and Wonder Woman are canon.
Yes.
But Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and Snyder Cut are not, even though those films, I mean, are connected to Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
It's so confusing.
To some degree. I mean,
the
same actors showed up in Justice League. So it's really bizarre how, his 3 films are not canon, but the other ones are. I mean, it's some bizarre form of cherry picking there.
it seems as though, and I've talked about this in the past, especially with Warner Brothers, is that there's just, if you look at the hierarchy there and you look at the way the company is structured, it's just a mess.
Can I interject one moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is hello everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining. This is for Kaz. Let me find it here.
Cocainum.
Cocainum. He loves that, Kaz. Kaz wants that all the time. So that is for Kaz. You know, if you can ask in the comments for James to come up with certain clips, and I'm pretty sure he'll do his best to come up with them so you can get them on the show. We want to involve you guys as much as we can. Yeah, that's
we need a Walter Hamada video or something. You know.
Maybe. But one of the things that I was basically talking about before was that there we go. There's Walter Hamada. So Walter Hamada's at the top of DC Films. So you'd expect, people are saying, well, he's like the Kevin Feige, but he's not, because he doesn't have any control over really what happens with HBO Max. And it seems as though now we're getting more and more DC comic stuff coming to HBO Max. And then Toby Emmerich is above him. And then there's Anne, I forget her last name, Anne. I can't remember what her name is, but I think she's specific. I think she was brought into Warner Media. So it's like, there's no, the hierarchy's all over the place. Anyone can do anything, and it's just there's no structure.
Well, you know, it's people have asked me about that. Like one of the questions I always get is, okay, if Warner Brothers isn't behind Snyder, but HBO Max and AT&T like him, why don't they just put their foot down on Warner Brothers and say, hey, no, you can't do this?
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. You want to give those people as much authority as you can, and then if it gets too much, then press the stop button. To me, it's very similar to Marvel, because it reminded me of this. When ABC wanted to cancel Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I believe Channing Dungey was in charge of ABC back then. She's with Warner Brothers TV now. I call her a superhero TV killer.
Yeah.
She wanted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canceled. They kept putting it in really horrible time slots for a reason. It was like one death slot after another. She wanted to get rid of the show and have a justifiable reason for doing so. But Disney said, no, you got to keep this show on. So they kept changing.
It was doing well for them, wasn't it? So
and the overseas sales on S.H.I.E.L.D. was doing pretty well. They're making money off of that, and the DVR, VOD after broadcast streaming was doing pretty good. Had millions of viewers, but so they interfered with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They stopped it from being killed. That's why it lasted for so long. It shouldn't have. The ratings were bad. You know, they got worse and worse as in each succeeding season.
Yeah,
that was an example of where the parent company said, no, you can't do this. But Agent Carter was canceled for really bad reasons. And that's because Channing Dungey, I think her sister, had a show, and she wanted Haley Atwell to be in it.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why Haley Atwell was put on that really, God, what was that show called? I can't remember what it was now, but it was this really depressing drama. It was gone after a season. Somebody out there probably knows the show, or can look it up on Wikipedia. But Haley Agent Carter was canceled because of that, because Channing Dungey wanted her on the show.
Okay.
So even though Disney owns ABC, they let that happen. They didn't want it to happen. They let that happen. So for the most part, the parent company won't put the slap down on their subsidiary.
Yeah.
Because they have to do their job. You know, they feel, you know, unless it gets to an extreme. But there were many times where Disney could have said, you can't cancel Agent Carter. You have to greenlight Marvel's Most Wanted, the Mockingbird show that never got on the air.
Yeah.
So that's why with AT&T and and DC Films, AT&T is not going to put pressure on them unless it's absolutely necessary. But also AT&T, I mentioned this before, they don't really care about theatrical releases that much.
No.
It's all about HBO Max for them.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why they the Snyder Cut was greenlit basically by AT&T, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Because,
it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a case where it's like, you're right. A parent company, which is what AT&T is for Warner Media, won't tend to get that involved.
Nope.
But one of the things is that I heard this as well, is that AT&T is really not that interested in putting movies into cinemas. Nope. They're looking at HBO Max as the future, which is why they've really been making sure that they can get those contracts in line to make sure that HBO Max can be in as many available in as many countries as possible. Because that's one of the big problems with HBO Max. Yeah,
that's their that's really their goal is HBO Max. The cinemas. This is before the global pandemic. Even back then they weren't seeing the future with theaters. It was all streaming.
I just wanted to. Reese says it's Ansanoff was the name I was trying to remember. You are right. And then there's loads of people. People are asking for groovy, like Ash from Evil Dead says. We do that at the beginning of the show. I love that. I'm a massive Evil Dead fan. And actually, talking of Bruce Campbell, someone is asking any possible Bruce Campbell actual MCU continual role. So we know that Bruce Campbell is going to be in Doctor Strange 2. So we don't know. I don't know what role he's going to be playing. I'm not sure if you've heard anything about that, Mikey.
No, I haven't heard any, but I have a dream role for Bruce Campbell.
Is it Mephisto?
Well, it's Wonder Man.
Oh, it's Wonder Man.
He'd be the perfect Wonder Man.
That'd be a really good idea. Wasn't Nathan Fillion Wonder Man?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. What, like
Bruce
Nathan
Campbell,
Fillion?
He's got the swagger. He's got the cheesiness.
He really does, doesn't he?
He's perfect. To
be honest, both of them would make a good Wonder
the shades on him, like him wearing the shades and the red jacket.
Yeah. I was always very into the idea of him playing Mephisto because he's got that kind of that vibe about him. I think
that would be
really
genius casting.
Yeah,
that would break the internet if that happens.
Retrograde Production says, "Can we say Red Heat is such an underrated action film?" And
I don't do requests.
I don't do requests. No, I don't do it. I think that is an underrated movie. I think it's great. More, and he wants more Arnie clips. More Arnie.
All right,
clips.
everyone, chill.
Chill. When hell will freeze over? All that crap. So we got some more. We got some questions for you, Mikey. Mikey, can you tell us anything about Hercules' debut?
No.
He loves that. He loves that, like the little clip.
Last I heard, they were planning a Journey into Mystery series for Disney Plus, like a rotating cast of characters that were going to put the spotlight on, and Hercules was going to be one of them. There were rumors of him being in Love and Thunder as well, but nothing really.
No, nothing's come of that, has it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was always under the impression that if they were going to cast a Hercules, because when I was hearing that originally when it was Matt Damon, I was like they're going to do a joke like Hercules and have him play Hercules, but then it ended up being he was doing that play, wasn't he, in Ragnarok, and he was playing Loki, wasn't he, in the play?
Yeah.
So he's going to be back. He's going to be back in Thor: Love and Thunder. So I'm assuming he's playing the same character. But yeah, I've heard. I haven't actually heard anything about Hercules specifically. So I did. I think Eddie Gomez did ask that a couple of days ago. So I said wait until Mikey's on the show, so he might know a bit more about that.
I wasn't a Hercules fan until I read the Bob Layton miniseries from 1982.
Yeah.
It was absolutely hysterical. If you guys haven't read it, it's one of the funniest comic books ever written. Hercules gets Galactus drunk. I mean, like you see Galactus taking off his helmet for the first time.
I suppose one of the problems, one of the problems in the MCU, if you have Hercules in the MCU, he'd be a bit too much like Thor. I think, in a weird way. But there are people talking of Galactus. Red Lodge Crow asks, how many of Galactus heralds will we see in the MCU?
Well, I can count 2 already that I scooped. Well, Silver Surfer, obviously.
Yeah.
Frankie Ray was the other. But she is gonna... She'll become...
Whoa.
Hey!
Wait, tell me before that happens.
It's showtime.
All right, change the subject to Greg Berlanti now.
So off guard. Well,
Almost here.
so this is the first, since this is the premiere episode of
Exactly.
of the Super Team Megaforce. All
You
right,
gotta get the name right.
you gotta get that right first.
Team Megaforce.
I'll just point to you next time. I was like, hey, you say,
Yeah,
but
I'll do the voice.
one
Super Team Megaforce.
or that. And James is on point tonight. First of all, shout out to that guy James.
Yeah.
That name sticks. That guy James. That's why I called him in my head this whole time. That guy James. But
My man.
I guess I'll be like the demanding person of the group because we have to reserve all WB DC topics for me. Like when I'm on the panel,
Yes.
I can't talk about the stuff without me.
But the problem. we start the show, so the show's Edward. It's the Edward and Mikey show for like 20 minutes to begin with.
Let me bring out all the Greg Berlanti scoops now.
It'll be 19 minutes next time.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
But
He's got all of them now.
y'all talked about case in point. Y'all talked about the sequel, the Zack
Yes.
Snyder Justice League.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell the future right now. Right now,
All right.
what's going to happen? Now, both of y'all heard different scoops. Now, I mean, I haven't heard directly, so y'all, have the
Mephisto
intel
shows up. Come on, tell me.
on that. But one argument that's going to be against Zack Snyder Justice League sequel being strictly on HBO Max, people are going to say, how are they going to pay for it? How are they going to actually budget and fund, this massive, Justice League was like 250 million budget, not counting marketing.
Yeah.
But my counter argument to that is House of Dragons, which is coming out on HBO Max. It's going to cost nearly 200 million. Mikey may confirm that later, but it's going to cost nearly 200 million for that series, which is, again, that's not counting marketing. That's going to be right up the ballpark for a Justice League series type of money. So it can happen. That's the point.
And you're right. It's like we're seeing so Amazon is spending probably about the same amount on the Lord of the Rings show as well. They're also spending an awful amount of money on another show called The Three Bodies Problem. So which is it's a Chinese book that they're turning into a series. So it's like, and Netflix is already spending 70 million for each of them, like plus for each of their movies. Mm-hmm. So HBO Max, and they know this, they know they've got to spend this much money for this sort of stuff. Honestly, a Justice League film, if it's made by Zack Snyder, it doesn't actually need to be as expensive as some of the other films. As we've seen this, Snyder's actually quite good at keeping costs relatively low. The fact that he made this 4-hour movie. So yes, he had this stuff shot before, but he was only given 70 million, which is kind of like a mid-budget Netflix movie to finish what is going to be a 4-hour epic long film, and we're hearing very good things about this movie. Oh yeah. So I think people saying, "Oh, how can HBO Max have the money?" We're going to see AT&T start diverting a heck of a lot of funds into HBO Max.
And like I said, and it's not a precedent. Like I said, the House of Dragons, Game of Thrones series is going to be expensive. They could spend that same money on Zack Snyder. So.
Well, and also from what I heard, the Green Lantern show, the over $150 million already. So and it's gonna be pricey. I mean, you have the Green Lantern core in there. It's not gonna be cheap.
You get those subscriptions. That's all. As long as they get those subscriptions, it's gonna be worth it.
And they're already well over their predicted amount of subscribers, so they're doing that, and that's only based in the US. So they're doing pretty well. And I think the minute it'll be available worldwide, they will be getting Disney Plus numbers, given how much they have like on that already, just with all the Warner Brothers content.
Yeah,
and also as HBO Max grows, the more money they're gonna get for budgets and everything.
Right.
Or the more willing they are to spend, I should say, because they have the money.
So DC talk with Extender said when Zack Snyder Justice League is more successful, Warner Brothers are going to look like fools. I think they already kind of do, to be honest.
They don't know what they're doing.
No, they really don't. DC talk says what's up, Syl. So he's
What's up, Extended?
He's a fan of yours already.
Retrograve.
Will's Zack Snyder Justice League take place in Detroit.
He must have saw that show, Mikey.
Okay, just a little background to people who missed my infamous interview with Syl yesterday. That actually, Ed, have you heard? Did I tell you about the Black Krypton scoop that I held back years?
No.
Oh
No.
no!
Yes,
Oh no! Here we go again.
I'm gonna grab a drink while you explain.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
It's so worth hearing.
So, I think about a year ago or so, or sooner, I can't remember. The time blurs together now. I got this scoop that I never ran. It was too silly. At first, I couldn't believe it. But then something in the scoop made me realize, yeah, it's true. But it is probably the worst idea for a superhero film I ever heard. And it's from some unnamed Warner executive that basically was whining that DC Films doesn't have a Black Panther. They were really jealous of all the glory that Marvel Studios was receiving, not to mention all the money as well. It's both glory and money together that they were getting from this, and they're like, don't we have, it's very cynical to say this, but that's how Hollywood executives are, don't we have a black superhero who can achieve this kind of greatness?
Yeah.
And they have Cyborg, you're like, no, that's doesn't have quite the weight of a Black Panther.
That Black
So
Lightning.
at the time, J.J. Abrams was talking about a Superman film. Now,
Yeah.
I had no idea who Calvin Ellis was.
Yeah.
When I got this scoop, my first impression was, okay, you mean Steel? They're going to do a Steel reboot. That's what I thought
Yeah.
they were going to. That's the only Black Superman I know of, right? But the executive had this idea, like, okay, why can't we do a cross between Superman and Black Panther? And the idea was to have Krypton be like Wakanda.
Krypton.
Yeah, be like
Okay.
That
Wakanda.
Krypton.
And then have a very similar origin to Kal-El, where the planet's going to explode and everything. And this black Kryptonian kid was sent to Earth. And it gets worse. Okay, the kid, instead of, the rocket ship landing in Smallville, the ship lands in Detroit somewhere.
Okay.
And then the kid is adopted by a white couple in Detroit.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's
And-
kind of like Red Superman, Red Sun, but just not good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so that's what Syla's referring to.
Man, that just sounds really stupid. Kieran Bug says Flash movie is still cursed. Billy Crudup, I can never say his name. Crudup drops out as soon as Nora Allen is cast. Has he dropped out of the movie?
Yeah, it's been reported today. He's out of the Flash movie. Yeah.
So he's out. He's in. He's out. He's in. He's out. Oh. Well, okay, fine. I was actually kind of looking forward to him in the movie, but never mind. I suppose that's gone now. And then with Rag TV is talking about Calvin Ellis.
Yeah.
Ellis was based on Obama, but he prefers the Al Zod version. Incidentally, I saw. I saw a report from, I'm going to mention them, Giant Freaking Robot. They're not involved in this, but they said that it's not going to, the Black Superman that they're doing is not going to be the Calvin Ellis version. Now, I've told that's not true, but
Right.
yeah. Here we go.
That's Ryan from RATG TV. You guys can Google him and check him out. He's awesome. He does his own live show and stuff, and I'm glad he's here participating.
He has good taste. I like the Valzad version as well, so I'll check him.
Producer's gone like that.
James is on point today.
I know he really is.
That guy.
Did Krypton get destroyed due to racism?
I've seen you before. You're the asshole on TV.
we have a team that can let Reese's comments slide off their backs.
Seriously?
That was something we prepared that specifically
Reese is
for
part of
Reese.
the show.
Oh, we got others coming up.
Shout out to
We've been
Reese.
prepping.
You're in the show, baby.
I'm just going through the comments. I think actually, you know what, James? Why don't you choose the comments, because there are quite a few now.
Man.
We're getting quite a few comments, but I honestly like that kind of Calvin Ellis thing. I'm pretty sure. I think it's nailed on that it's going to be Calvin Ellis, that the version that they're doing in the Black Superman movie. So I mean, I hope they do.
With the angle, and I know Mikey touched on this as far as in his article. Well, I guess with J.J. Abrams' angle right now is very a diverse type of thing.
Yeah,
Calvin Ellis makes sense because that's based off the Obama.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that they would want to go with that. I just personally, Val Zai sounds cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have preferred that. But.
I mean, here we have the Up Down 7. So this is the first time I've seen you. So hello, welcome to the show. Is there an actual insider saying it's Calvin Ellis, or was that just one of the sites assuming it was him and running with it?
You're a funny guy, Sully.
So actually, I think it wasn't it in Deadline? Wasn't it?
Mikey's the first person I heard say Calvin Ellis.
Maybe I was wondering. I was thinking that it was actually like they did actually name Calvin Ellis in the Deadline article.
I'm not sure. I have to double check that.
Yeah, you have to check it. I don't know, but I have heard. I've been hearing that it's going to be him, but I don't know. Have you heard the same?
I've heard the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never heard of him before. I haven't read Superman in years. So.
Yeah.
There's no reason to.
Has it been confirmed that it'll be a Black Super? Yes, that has been confirmed.
That's the only thing that's confirmed.
That has been confirmed. We're also now hearing that apparently they want to make a Black Batman, which is a difficult one to say. But it's
isn't there one like Batwing? Isn't Batwing a Black Batman?
No, basically what yes, but also what they've done is that they've there's a new comic run which is written by the guy that wrote 12 Years a Slave. And I'm forgetting what his name. It's not Bruce Wayne. It's Tim something. And it's he's like a black version of Batman.
Are you talking about the new? That's like
that's really new.
It's like great grandson.
Yes.
Future State Batman.
Yeah.
Which I haven't read yet, but I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it makes sense. Lucius Fox descendant becomes Batman. So that's pretty cool.
That is,
you can do something like that. Yeah, I would go for that.
At least it's not like Webster,
Yeah,
in Detroit.
What I was saying about that was that I've been told specifically that Warner Brothers is very keen on making more with Robert Pattinson. So it's like, I mean, when will this film be made? I don't know. Someone in the last episode I did yesterday, which none of you guys joined, by the way. I was on my own for that one, so thanks for that. But yeah,
Team Megaforce.
this is once every 2 weeks. Someone said in the comments that it sounded like a CW thing, and I was like, I don't think it is. According to anyway, Giant Freaking Robot. I think I've mentioned them once too many times. Tim Drake is the name Yeah, Tim Drake is the name of. Thank you, Kazakhs, for bringing that out. He's the Black Batman he's the Black Batman in the comics and the new ones. And then a lot of people saying Warner Brothers is.
Cocainum.
So, and then I think everyone's correcting us. Future State Batman is another son of Lucius Fox.
I corrected
brother. You corrected me. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank you very
give the
much.
credit. I don't mind giving people credit. That's what this team is about.
Exactly.
Deferring credit. Though I corrected you first.
The problem is that there are too many new comics to keep up with, and I'm still reading old ones. So
Don't bullshit me.
it's true. It is true. Which was the one I was reading one today? Death in the Family. I haven't read Death in the Family. I realized that I hadn't read it. Yeah, so I was like, I've got to read this. So I was reading it today. So it's just, you know, there's so many. There are so many, and then with all the new ones, it just gets a bit complicated.
Get that digital.
And I read that in '89 when it came out, but
well,
the last couple of years though, I haven't read much at all. You know, the problem, I wouldn't really call it a problem, is that you only have a certain amount of time every day, and there are so many comic book shows, TV shows.
Yeah.
That I have to keep. Like, I'm behind on Black Lightning right now. I'm behind on The Flash. I'm only caught up on Superman and Lois. That's the only show I'm caught up
with. Well, I just caught up with Flash. Black Lightning, I think, if you've been following it, it's good to catch up with that.
Didn't it get cancelled?
Yeah,
this is his last season.
Yeah.
That was really good actually. I enjoyed that.
The first season was good, and then you did see a little, regression, CW style, but
I think with the CW is that there's just so many episodes that they can just cut it down.
Yeah, that's true.
10, 12.
How many is Superman Lois going to be? I didn't even hear like the episode count, but maybe they shortened that some because of the budget.
Yeah, I think it'll be because again, you can definitely see it's like different budget. Like the first episode I watched, and that's like on a completely different level.
Oh yeah,
that's because HBO Max is doing some of the funding on that series. Going forward, you're going to see more of that.
Yep.
You saw with Stargirl had a bigger budget.
Yeah, that was a good template to what they're trying to do now with the money.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But it shows.
Kieran in the comments is asking who else agrees that Warner Brothers is reaching Sony levels of stupidity.
Just wait, it's going to get worse.
Jonathan Barr has a question. Any chance of Ben Affleck as Daredevil in Doctor Strange 2? No.
Why the hell?
I'd love it, but no.
No.
It's the dramatic pause. It's such a dramatic pause.
The thing about these clips is it gives us the time to just, stop for a minute.
Enough talk.
He's got so many animals.
We need to get Arnold on this show.
A sip of coffee during that time.
Let's reach out to Arnold.
Yeah.
So Superman and Lois is 15 episodes according to.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
That would be perfect.
That's perfect.
Reese is in the know. And then DC Talk says, I agree, Warner Brothers are morons.
Tell us how you really feel.
Man, they really haven't covered themselves in glory, have they, Warner Brothers? Like, as you call them, you still like to call them former bros.
Affectionately, the former bros.
We'll say affectionately, yes, we will say that.
And it's sad because they have such great characters, and they just need better people involved in supervising them.
No direction. Like this Flash film. My goodness.
Incredible catalog they have characters.
It's just it's frustrating because there's so much potential. With everything they have, and I mean they made Joker, which was a really good film, and then at least I think it was, and it's an Oscar-winning film, and then they just come up with a lot of rubbish, like a lot of rubbish, and it's not just that; it's the way that they've managed it that's been really poor. It's like it's just and also they never stop talking, and whenever they say anything it's stupid. I'm sorry, but calling the Zack Snyder universe, the DC universe, cul-de-sac was just dumb. It's like, don't do that. You're just going to aggravate the fan base. And it did. That's exactly what it did.
Saying the Justice League is canon. I mean,
it's just
you irritate the fans. There you go. You just keep irritating them.
I mean, I'm going to say Marvel got pretty close recently with WandaVision, with the amount of basically kind of theory baiting that they were coming up with. I was a bit. I mean, I personally found it quite funny, the whole Paul Bettany thing, and I did call it. I did call it. I said
you did.
He is trolling us. But
that wasn't good. Like,
it wasn't good.
That trolling, you don't. Okay, it was after the Mandalorian season 2 finale. Luke Skywalker moment. Like, that's like pop culture now. Your Luke Skywalker moment. Like, and then Paul Bettany and I think Elizabeth Olsen
Yes.
Double down on that.
To be honest, no. Elizabeth Olsen was first, and to be honest with her, it was kind of words were put in her mouth. It was the interviewer that said, "Is there going to be a Luke Skywalker-esque cameo?" And she was like, and this was before Evan Peters was revealed.
Right.
So she was kind of like, yeah. And then Evan Peters turned up. So I'm pretty sure she was thinking of that. I think
that's what she was thinking, because she went on record saying she thought that meant the X-Men were coming, like when she saw that in the script.
Yeah.
And then they, tricked her.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of stuff in the script that they never got around to shooting. And we got Evan Peters right now on the show. He's coming up and leaving very quickly.
Troll of the year.
Quicksilver.
All this raising of expectations from WandaVision reminded me of something I did when I was in 6th grade. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And I was banned from playing it ever again by my friends, who stopped talking to me after what I did to them. I put them on a year-long D&D campaign where they're supposed to find the ultimate treasure at the end of this campaign. So we play every day. I put them through hell. I mean, one of them ended up doing it with a hermaphrodite. I mean, I was pretty twisted back then. So anyway, year-long campaign, they finally get to the castle where the ultimate treasure is located. All these expectations were built up. Like, this is end of the school year, right? End of the school year, our last game of the year, and they find the treasure chest, and they open it up, and it's the bones of their dead parents.
That took a turn.
That's twisted.
Wow.
They stopped talking to me. They were like, I almost got my ass kicked.
I don't blame them, Mikey. That's weird. That's super weird.
I was reading a ton of Stephen King back then. I was really into horror.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? How do I put a twist ending on this? And man, the reaction was not good.
Yeah, that's still a beat down.
That was 38 years ago. I've never played the again.
So the moral of that story.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't play Dungeons and Dragons with Mikey. That's the moral of that story. You've got Jonathan Barr in the comments asking, with Evan Peters taking the Quicksilver role, again, I'm not sure if he is, any hope for Aaron Taylor Johnson still? No. There's no hope for Aaron Taylor Johnson, even though it's being reported by certain people. I'm not going to mention the site again, because honestly, they've been coming out with a lot of weird stuff, guys.
I don't know what's happened to them.
Honestly, I'm like, I do kind of cover it on small screen as well, but I do say this is very, very dubious, because they have been right in the past about stuff. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give them, the credit where credit's due, but this stuff, I'm like, Aaron Taylor Johnson has made it very clear that he's not interested in returning. Because he does, and apart from Kick-Ass 2, he doesn't do sequels. And at the moment, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's got their price. So if they give him a bucket load of money, he'll probably be like, okay, I'll do it.
He would have worked better in that premise of WandaVision. If it was just a gag, that would have been perfect to bring him back for that. But that teasing, Paul Bettany, looking at Paul Bettany, and the actress who did great, Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris. She was teasing stuff too, like, "Oh, you haven't seen all the surprises yet."
No, they all were. But I wonder whether they didn't actually know what was coming up, because Matt Shackman, the director, did say originally it was going to be 10 episodes long. Then there's been rumors that actually that they had originally planned for a Doctor Strange cameo, but then it looks like Kevin Feige basically doesn't want anything major happening in the TV shows, because he still wants people going into the movies, and then the major stuff will happen in the films, which is why I think someone is asking in the comments about X-Men coming into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No, that will not happen.
I'm not expecting any major reveals anymore. Character development is cool, because that's what WandaVision was. I'm more drawn to the character now, what she does next, but no major reveals. No.
And then Reese says Mikey has my kind of humor, so you two can go and play Dungeons and Dragons together. Syl and I will not be part of that game. A team that can let Reese's comments slide off their backs.
Well, that's what I tell people about WandaVision. Just be patient because they're building up to something. I mean, it's the beginning of Phase 4. He's not going to show all his cards, you know.
No. But that's the whole thing. He didn't want there to be too much in there because he was worried about people going to watch, well, I suppose really Doctor Strange 2 and then being like, what's going on? You know, he wants people that haven't watched the WandaVision show to still understand what's going on in this movie.
Right.
He's
Plus,
this
wasn't supposed to be the start of the fourth phase. You know what I'm saying? WandaVision. So you have to factor that in too, that this was supposed to be like kind of the start of the middle of the start of the phase, and it got dumped right in front, and everyone's expecting the world, you know. So
exactly.
I get it, you know.
And the director was saying that they kept changing things along the way. I mean, who knows what they left off that we didn't see.
Yeah, they cut out a lot of stuff because of COVID. They would have had because they would normally have gone and done reshoots.
Yeah.
On a lot of it, and they just didn't have the time to do it, and they didn't have the ability to do it because I think a lot of people they could have done ADR afterwards, but they wouldn't have really been able to shoot anything. Really. So that was a problem as well for them. I was just trying to go through the comments because I remember Reese saying something about my the voiceover being my impression of Matt Berry. I can't bring up the comment, but I will say that it is Matt Berry inspired. That's what I'll say. It's
Super Team Megaforce.
It really has that style of an 80s cartoon voice.
It does.
Like Challenge of the Super Friends is what I think of.
Yeah. One of the ideas I always had, I probably shouldn't be sharing it here, but I always had an idea to make a comic book called Captain Fist, and it be the voice of Captain Fist be Matt Berry. And Matt Berry, if you don't know who he is, he sounds like this, you know, and it's very he really does. I just think it'd be really funny. But then they made the Tick. And the Tick is kind of that, really. And so that's my $1 million idea down the drain, unfortunately. Oh well. Lifted LeChance says Falcon could set up Inhumans with the Thunderbolts, like in the cartoon. What do you think of that?
I think you need to read your private chat more, Edward.
I need to read my private chat. What's going on? Okay.
I'm not shooting on you.
Buddy.
I've got too many chats going on. Let's
look at the private chat here.
It's crazy.
I got somebody asking me for.
That's actually my buddy Barry, who I grew up with. What's going on, Barry? Lifted LeChance Designs. Check him out for all your printing needs. But he's got some kind of mental powers. I got to tell you that much. But we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
To the person.
Enough talk.
To the person asking me for D&D advice, I'm not the best person to ask about. Unless you want your friends to ban you for life.
Oh man.
So Colin actually makes an interesting point. He says, "What Marvel fan hasn't watched WandaVision by this point? Everyone I know has Disney Plus, anyways." I mean, yes, I think you might have a point. And up the down 7 says, if there are no major reveals in the Disney Plus shows, then the excitement for them will definitely dip. And that, I mean, it could do.
I mean, I think the characters like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm excited to see like an action show, 6 weeks in a row. It doesn't dampen it. It's just dangling that idea of, multiverse. And that's what kind of did it.
Keep in mind, the general public isn't expecting any of this. They have no idea. Mm-hmm. They're just like, hey, Scarlet Witch and Vision are in the show. I mean, that alone excites them already. So
yeah,
they don't know the inside stuff. They don't follow this.
Right.
I think it's also. I think you're right, Syl. When you're talking about character development, I think these shows are really going to be about character development. So, I mean, who we're seeing? It's not Sharon Carter. Who's the one that's coming back in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Isn't it Sharon Carter's?
It's Sharon Carter, yeah.
It is Sharon Carter. Yeah. So she's coming back, and so we haven't actually seen her since. Was it Civil War? Was the last time we saw her in the MCU?
She was in Endgame, wasn't she, for at least a funeral, right?
Was she in Endgame for the funeral? Okay.
I believe she was. Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's like they're bringing in characters that have been in the MCU before that haven't necessarily had that much screen time.
In the comic book, she was Cap's longtime girlfriend. I mean,
in the MCU, it's really weird. He's like,
they really used her. You know, we didn't see Peggy
weird.
that much in the comics. I don't recall. It was mostly Sharon that we saw. So.
He literally shacks up with Sharon at Peggy's funeral, which is weird.
That's canon.
I was rewatching Age of Ultron today, and we all
did this past movie.
there are bits of that film. I like that movie, but there are bits of that film that are really dated badly. And like when you watch it again, you can really hear the Joss Whedon of it all. I was just it was kind of cringe watching it again. Like that whole bit. There's that whole bit. At Stark Tower before Ultron's revealed, where Thor and Tony Stark are talking about their girlfriends and why they're not in the movie to Corbin Smulders or whatever her name is. And it's just so cringe. It's such a cringe scene because they're like, they're not in the film, but they're great women. They are brilliant women. They're incredible.
I wonder who's the writer on that. I got to double check that.
I think Joss Whedon had a lot to do with it. No, he didn't write it, I don't think. But I think he had a lot of input. And then there's in that scene there is the man's head goes into the boobs scene. Which was then reused in Justice League.
Did you like that one? Double down in Justice League.
It's like, oh my god, seriously. Yeah. The Up Down 7 says the general public was pissed on Twitter because there were no reveals. So I wouldn't say
general. I wouldn't say general.
No, those are fans.
I think all of us geeks and nerds were upset.
Like my family saw WandaVision. They have no idea who Mephisto is.
My family loves they love it.
Yeah, and it's Captain America upcoming movie take place in World War II. Oh, I don't know about that. Mikey might have something more to say.
There have been talks of a World War II film with Wolverine and Cap. But it didn't really go anywhere. I mean, I guess just kind of throwing it out there, like, hey, what if we do a flashback film with
Yeah, that might be the way because it does seem as though he's coming back. Chris Evans is coming back for a future role, so that might be they might do that. I don't know though.
Like a Saving Private Ryan with Logan and Cap.
That'd be pretty cool.
That was the best part of the Wolverine origin film was him and Sabretooth in the wars. That was the best. That was the beginning of the movie. But the
rest of the film was not that good.
No, but
about 3 minutes.
We got that brief moment, though.
Yeah.
It threw us a bone.
It can work.
But going back to WandaVision, I think one of the problems people had with WandaVision was that they released it weekly. So basically, I've said this I think before, but it basically meant that people had a week to come up with their own theories. Yeah. If it had been released all in one go and people had binge watched it, I think people would be saying it's really good.
You're saying that's bad for the theories part of this.
Yes, but it's better for the ratings.
I think that week to week is going to be brilliant for Disney Plus going forward.
Yeah, I think so too.
I understand Netflix dumps it all in there, but that weekly engagement and buzz, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a really good thing for the show. Like ratings-wise, like WandaVision was like one of the highest-rated shows I think around. We saw that with The Boys season 2, for instance, on Amazon when they put it week to week on Amazon as opposed to releasing it all at once. The season did ridiculously well. Yeah. So it means that we can sit here and talk about it as well, which is good for us as well, as opposed to basically it being talked about constantly for a week and then people forgetting about it after a week.
Stranger Things.
Exactly.
I think people will like the show better once time has passed. They've forgotten about all of the theories and everything. They just watch it and appreciate for what's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that's what killed it for some people. The expectations of like, Richard's gonna show up.
Oh my god, that's
he-
what did it for me. Besides Quicksilver, that aerospace engineer, I was like, "Ugh."
You know that Matt Shackman opened up about that and said they never intended to be teasing the Fantastic Four, and I was like, really? You talk about an aerospace engineer? Of course, people are going to think Reed Richards.
Well, missing astronauts, and there's so many false leads in that series.
Not some random.
That scene though, if he really looked back, if Shackman looks back at that scene, we got the tease of the aerospace engineer. She name dropped Captain Marvel and hinted towards like some kind of issue with her and Kara, Danvers. It was a lot in that scene that I took away. I think me and Drabo was talking about it after that episode. And I was like, well, they're setting up a lot in this show. Like, we got Captain Marvel 2, we got a Fantastic Four, Miss Marvel, sort of. So it just, man, they set up a lot, but yeah, they didn't follow through.
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, here we got the up down saying the up the down 7. I'm not going to be able to say your name properly. It's late for me. Sorry guys, but it just wasn't nerds who were let down. There wasn't a big bad reveal. Agatha being the main villain. Was a letdown for a lot of normies. I mean, I
gotta disagree on that. I mean, normies didn't know any other big bad. It was only us, inside baseball people who was thinking Mephisto and Nightmare, and
it was only people that read comics that were thinking, oh, Agnes is Agatha Harkness. Like, I think if
you may have no idea.
I think if you'd gone into that not knowing anything about the comics,
that was a good twist for the general audience. Actually,
I think so. And
I use my family as an example. They didn't know any of this deep inside, Agatha Harkness. They didn't know anything about that.
They had no inside baseball information.
Right.
And at the very, very end of the show, like, we're her kids. I mean, it sets up like a demon is there somewhere. And the kids aren't at McDonald's, asking mommy for help,
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of the bits of the show that I was a bit more disappointed with in the finale was the kind of more formulaic kind of battle sequences. I preferred the kind of Vision versus White Vision thing because that was more of it made you think a bit more.
Yeah,
I liked that more than
just like phasing in and out.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
pretty cool.
And I love that intellectual discourse they had.
Exactly, that's what I really liked about it. That was brilliant. Whereas, like with Agatha and Wanda, it was a bit more of a kind of ordinary kind of, almost a sky beam type thing. So back to the sky beams.
You shoot one, I shoot one. You shoot
one. Exactly. Yeah. I thought we were done with the sky beams like in the early 2000s, but then Suicide Squad brought it back with a vengeance, and then now we've got it in WandaVision as well. I noticed Syl Abdul went very quiet on that bit.
I phased out for a moment.
Talking about sky beams and like just trash everywhere, trash rings around sky beams. That's something that Suicide Squad brought back, and then it was the Fantastic Four that brought that back.
Well. Oh man,
Suicide Squad. Yeah, I think I think I've seen it only 2 times, and then I stopped watching it. So
sorry, you said only 2 times.
Yeah.
So you've seen it more than one.
Because you gotta give it as a DC fan, like we gotta give it a chance. That's what I did with Justice League, and then I was like, no.
I'm going to be honest, I genuinely think Suicide Squad is the worst film in the DCU. I think that's my least favorite one.
Justice League is the most.
You're fired.
You can't fire me for my own show, James.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna argue though. I mean, if you think that's worse, then I'm not.
It's just something about that film. It felt like it started like 5 or 6 different times, and I remember watching it going, like, it's like got like 5 or 6 different beginnings. Like, it really annoyed me, that film. And then the end
score was terrible.
Yeah, so bad.
Well, you can't even call it a score, really. Yeah.
I just remember they played Eminem, and I was like, oh my god, like really, like, really, guys.
Normally, no, then you walk out of the theater. But
Kazakh's is defending it. Suicide Squad is okay for the amount of butchering it got. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I can't watch it again. Like, I can't. Like, it's on HBO.
Cocainum.
It's like I can't sit there and watch it.
Sorry, that's what you need to watch Suicide Squad. You need some cocainum, and then you'll be okay. I agree
with EJ right here. Yeah, I can't make it through it.
I can't make through it without falling asleep.
I have to admit, I mean, it's not part of DCEU or DC films, but I really like Green Lantern. I thought.
What?
Yeah, I know it's gonna shock, but I will happily admit I saw it 6 times.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Oh my
because
God.
I'm a massive Hal Jordan fan, and
Yeah.
Right.
the opening of the film with Abin Sur, it's very faithful to the comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching it in the cinema and I think I fell asleep.
The villain took me out of it. The villain took me out of the film. Like I was okay. Like the first 30 minutes, Mike.
Yeah.
I was like, this
that
is
was the
cool.
best part. The first 30 minutes was the best part of the film. Then it got more goofy.
I like the fact that it gave us.
Johns.
Yeah, that is a Jeff Johns movie, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
And
but there's 2 parts I like the Hot Wheels tribute with the. I know people thought it was silly, but it's actually
I think it showed his lack of imagination though. That a lot of the stuff he came up with was very kind of like, oh, I'm a pilot. Yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm going to make a plane. So all right, fine. I don't know.
But you see, all those were from the comic book. So as cheesy as they are, they were all from the Silver Age stuff. Like the Hot Wheels road tracks. So there's a toy I played with when I was a kid. So, but they chose the wrong villain, and he is a villain. It should have been Sinestro the whole time.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was weird. Yeah, that was really weird.
Well, I understood they were setting up the.
They were setting up Sinestro Core War, and
that sounds familiar.
Right.
Yeah. I think it really did feel like a film that just didn't have a script. There was no script for that movie.
No, the Greg Berlanti's original script was totally butchered. I mean, it
Yeah.
has no resemblance whatsoever to it was originally. This sounds familiar to you, Warner Brothers interference.
Yeah. Like a lot of films.
Yeah, they're trying to jumpstart a whole universe off of that, and they were selling toys and all kinds of stuff during that time.
I've noticed in the comments people are still talking about WandaVision. So
really?
most of my friends and family don't know crap about the comics, but they all thought there was a bigger, more evil villain coming. The last 2 episodes were a huge letdown for them, with it just being Agatha. And then I think someone else, Prince Zodiac, said Marvel didn't promise us any of the stuff. I
agree with Zodiac.
Yeah,
not because of Zodiac, but no, they have a good point though. I mean, again, and I only can speak off of the people I talk to every day about this stuff. And the general audience was like my family, which doesn't really watch or talk about this stuff, and they love the twist of Agatha. They love the love story. They loved all that, So
yeah, I know a lot of people in my family that don't like superhero films that love WandaVision. And they're gonna start watching MCU now because of WandaVision.
Yeah,
and I think a large part of it is Wanda. I mean,
the
way her portrayal was, her grief and everything.
Elizabeth Olsen knocked it out of the park.
She did.
Yeah,
she really did. Both of them. Paul Bettany did as well, but I think Paul Bettany's going to find it difficult getting fans again.
It's a perfect COVID show.
It's personal.
People suffering from losing family members that, without intentionally doing so, it really captured the zeitgeist of what's going on.
Yeah,
with COVID, and she was great. Like I believe was great.
Do you agree with Kazakh's, Mikey? Do you think the best part of Green Lantern was Blake
Lively?
Lively?
Reynolds thinks that too.
Obviously Ryan agreed with him.
He really liked Blake Lively, didn't he? I think Green Lantern is like Justice League. Jeff Johns involved, and everyone likes the post-credits scene.
Well, Snyder Cut next week, y'all. So let's just.
Can you believe? Can you believe that it's only a couple of days away now? I've been kind of like not really thinking about it, and then I was like, oh my god, it's actually only a couple of days away.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll go ahead and say I'm actually seeing it tomorrow.
You got it. How? Have you got the invite?
Actually, seeing it tomorrow.
He's got the invite.
Look at you, man! Look at you.
Yes. That's probably why I was a little happier today, but seeing it tomorrow, man.
Finally. Now, can you get small screening invite?
I'll just see. But
you know my private message, though.
It's gonna be like Christmas.
Oh man, beyond this is gonna be better than Christmas.
When the leaks come out, you'll know who it is.
I'm going like silent, like radio silence. Yeah. Probably tonight.
Did you see the? Okay, I heard you guys talk about this on the show you did last night because you two did a show you did last night together. I wasn't invited on. I was.
You was invited.
I was invited. No, you talked a bit about a certain YouTuber called Grace Ranoff, and
everyone's favorite.
Something she said about Justice League. I think it was Justice League 2. Did she say something about Justice League 2?
As far as likely,
and the fact that apparently Zack Snyder could end up directing Wonder Woman 3.
Okay, that one was no.
Really? I mean that would be a really weird thing for them to do. For them to be like, your film's not canon. Can you film Justice League 3, please?
That doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right. Like, something's not matching up. Like I saw the message that Grace put out there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I think Zach can get the 2 and 3." Yeah, and Wonder Woman 3. I was like, that threw me off right there.
That's Grace Ranoff just putting everything out there.
Isn't Patty signed already for Wonder Woman 3? I think she signed already. So like,
Toby Emmerich announced that she's doing Wonder Woman 3. Toby Emmerich.
Yeah, and they gave her a lot of money for it as well, so I'm pretty sure she'll do it. Like, it's I also. The idea of her not doing it, the idea of them getting rid of Patty Jenkins and replacing her with Zack Snyder with a male director,
exactly,
is not going to fit very well.
That's not going to sit well.
No, even people that love Zack Snyder, like he's got millions and millions of fans. I'm pretty sure lots of people won't want to see him do a Wonder Woman 3. They'd rather see him do a Justice League 2, a Justice League 3, maybe a Joker movie, or go and do his own thing. Exactly.
Yeah, like Mikey suggests, do like his own Wonder Woman. He has his own origin of her story.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Oh, that James guy's back.
You got an invite.
Yes, he did.
Dude, man,
when did you get it?
I just found actually after my show yesterday with Mikey. I found out.
So you had to reveal this when my computer crashed and I couldn't pop in here and say. So did you think my email as Kevin Feige worked to Cool Films? Deborah Snyder?
It may have delayed it from getting to me.
Yeah, I think they were they had to do an investigation.
It was pretty.
Don't bullshit me.
It was pretty cool that it was like a little mini campaign for me to see it. So maybe that helped. I don't know, but I do appreciate James, people like him reaching out.
It was all Kevin Feige's email to Deborah Snyder. That's what they did.
So we got a
that guy James,
and like that he's off. We got a comment from Nate Nax. He says, "I know you guys have heard Henry Cavill is sticking around to the DCU, but do you think the black suit will keep going, or will it be, or is that going to be a one and done?" So, what have you guys heard anything?
Yeah, it's one and done.
It's one and done. It's a one.
Yeah, according to what Zach said, part of his arc is he has the black suit, and then I guess after an encounter with Darkseid, he goes back to the red and blue suit, whatever that encounter means.
He's got a nice I saw that Superman in this has got a nice closet full of suits, right? Full of Superman. So we might see him in like a pink one or a bright yellow one. There's going to be a whole montage.
The
in the
black
movie
suit is so iconic. It's so cool that Zach is doing the black suit because that's what got me back in the Superman comic books. Death of Superman. Back in that time.
It's like
man,
that Batman story from the Silver Age where he had like a pink costume and he had like a yellow costume, like.
And I really hope there's a montage now. I've really set myself up for this. If there's not a montage, like there was in Wonder Woman 1984 with Chris Pine's character, if there's not a montage of Superman looking and trying the mullet, then I will be very pissed off. And I will write a letter to Zack Snyder and be like, "You messed this up."
The hell with you.
The hell with you.
The hell you will.
Who the hell are you?
Brilliant. Brilliant, James. Love that.
Man, I'm very excited to see your reaction, Syl, to this movie because it's been a long time coming for you, hasn't it?
Man, I tell you, like I said, I'm not really. I told some friends today that I'm going silence, like for probably for like a week. Y'all probably won't hear from me until like next Friday.
Yeah, man. And if there's no green suit for St. Patrick's Day, I'll be very annoyed. I'm going to say that I'll be very annoyed.
Let's see if Syl can control himself from not spilling anything. You know,
I'm pretty bad at that actually. That's why I just not log in. Like,
he'll go on the show and say, "Hey guys, Black Krypton is real. I just saw it." Who's here the whole time, man?
It was right. Scoop confirmed.
The cliffhanger ending is in Detroit.
Oh man, if that happens. I'm like, man, all this build up for this.
Oh man, not the blue Superman Thunderbolt outfit he had. Remember that from the 90s?
From the 90s. I just brought that up. EJ Bass says as long as Soups doesn't have electrical powers like in the 90s.
Oh, that was so goofy looking.
I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with Superman? I'm pretty sure it's going to be really cool. I just wish they kind of went with the mullet. That's all. If you go for the black suit, you got to go for the mullet as well. Be comic book accurate, Zach. Come on.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the mullet too.
Yeah. Imagine Henry Cavill with mullet. That'd be brilliant. And again, if there's no montage of him trying on different suits, I'm going to be very pissed off. Right. We got Kazakh saying. Kryptonda
Kryptonda forever.
We got Cocainum. We got Red Lodge Crow asking, will Darkseid show up in New Gods?
Will New God show up in New God?
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of have to?
Yeah, he kind of has to, doesn't he?
Right?
Kind of has to.
Yeah. But again, you're right. What's going on with New Gods? Wasn't Ava DuVernay supposed to be doing that?
Well, last I heard, they were still writing a script. I haven't heard anything since.
It was
really quiet. It's
been a really quiet one, and it was a weird one to kind of green light, wasn't it? I was a bit like, because again, we're talking before about how they really rushed like Justice League. Getting the New Gods in now, it feels really rushed. And then especially if Zack Snyder's movies aren't going to be canon. Like what's going on?
Whatever that means.
See, I can't remember which was Green Lantern's first, that or Eternals. I mean, Eternals is really Kirby's New Gods. I mean, for Marvel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but that apparently is going to be like the best movie Marvel's ever made.
Yeah, I'm actually hearing great things about it now. I was kind of concerned before it was so quiet.
Yeah.
But as I told Syl yesterday, I got a source who saw the Snyder Cut and was constantly raving about it.
Yeah, I heard. And this is someone that likes Marvel movies, isn't it?
Oh, man, this guy collects Marvel Funkos. I mean,
yeah.
I can't count the number of times he saw Winter Soldier. I mean, but he preached the gospel to me last night. And I was like, the other day, I mean, and I was like, really? It's that good? He goes, yeah, it's that good. Okay, expectations are high now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not ready for tomorrow.
Ready to show a pistol then. I mean, ready to show up and, you know.
Mephisto shows up. Man.
But he did tell me it's a film that the general public will enjoy. It's not just for Snyder fans.
There are a couple of things that I wanted to ask actually both of you. One was, is Dave Bautista going to play Bane, which is something that again someone is posting out there.
Yeah, said that, right?
And second bit is Dwayne Johnson really going to get Henry Cavill back to play Superman? That was something that I think you.
That's me. Yeah,
that's you. Yeah, so that we can say that is a genuine one. The other one, the Dave Bautista one, probably.
The other one, the other one just sounds like easy spec, you know, like well.
Yeah. Well, he was interested in the role, wasn't he?
Well, if you see the Bane in the Harley Quinn show, like I can picture Dave Bautista's personality coming through.
Yeah.
With that voice, and that sense of humor.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything.
I've heard nothing about that. Yeah, the Superman, the Cavill Shazam. I mean, just that was a developing story that Mikey put out there.
And that's one of the reasons why The Rock is so excited about Black Adam is that he wants that. He wants him and Henry to go at it.
Yeah, and like 2 weeks ago, like just all I heard the same source that gave me the John Boyega news. I can start calling him that now, I guess. He said Cavill was being discussed about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then the Hollywood Reporter tried to come out and shoot down the story with nameless sources. So yeah. Now that goes.
It looks like Reese has got the inside scoop on Bautista. Bautista isn't playing Bane. He was not meant to be. He was meant to be in the Suicide Squad, and he chose to do Army of the Dead instead. I think
I've seen you before. You're the asshole on TV.
That was a good comment, though.
I'm sorry, Reese. That was a good comment.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. That was definitely to be in the Suicide Squad, and I think actually James Gunn confirmed that. I think he said that one of the ideas was to bring in Dave Bautista.
And Manganiello in one draft was a part of it.
Oh man, we're going to see him with. Okay, I want to ask, what do you think of his haircut in Justice League?
The futuristic, that's he said
futuristic. It looks like something out of the 80s.
Well, I mean, as far as it's the future scene, but Manganiello, he had that recent article where he said this was his idea for his Deathstroke film. He's supposed to have a part where he kind of just rads out at the end and has the mohawk and goes on like a killing spree. Yeah. And so I guess we're gonna get a little of that in the Snyder Cut. So can't wait.
Give Snyder Cut a whole new meaning, right?
Sure. Literally.
Snyder haircut.
Man.
There's I think we're gonna take a bit of a left turn here. I think we are eventually going to come back to DC and MCU comics, but I wanted to talk about another scoop that you delivered, Mikey, about Sebastian Stan.
You son of a bitch.
Being eyed to play Luke Skywalker in an upcoming Star Wars series. Can you what's going on there? Is that what's happening?
Well, they were talking about multiple projects for Luke Skywalker. One of them being, his own series.
Yes.
And there's also discussions of him showing up on the Lando show.
Yes. Well. Yeah.
And they don't want to use the DH Mark Hamill. I mean,
well, the problem with that is that it'll be really expensive and look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be very, very limiting.
Very limiting, yeah. And so they're like, Sebastian Stan just looks like him. I mean, the fan casting and everything.
Yeah.
But they really want to pursue Luke Skywalker's missing years. There's a lot of storyline there they want to explore. And they figure they can mix and match materials from the expanded universe that they haven't used before.
There's a lot of stuff that they could do actually with Luke Skywalker. I think it would make much more sense to make a Luke Skywalker series as opposed to an Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah,
there's more.
Believe me, Disney saw all the excitement when Luke showed up at the end of Mandalorian.
But one of the things I never understood was why did they go for the CGI and why not go for Sebastian Stan? Because it would have say I always think it's better to get an actor in it anyway rather than do CGI faces.
Right, that was an odd choice.
It was an odd choice.
Yeah, from what I heard, they just felt that it would just have the biggest nostalgic impact.
Yeah.
To see
because they did. They did get Mark Hamill back to do the voice, didn't they? Yeah.
Right, which was
it was someone else on set that did the body, but it was Mark Hamill that did the voice. And imagine a whole series like that, it'd be a bloody mess. So
that's the problem.
Yeah,
but it was a real shocker. I mean, and I think that's why people were so let down by WandaVision, where some of the fans are, because they wanted the Luke scene, right? They wanted internet crashing,
But that's the thing. That's what everyone was expecting with WandaVision. It just didn't happen because, honestly, I don't think I've had. Like, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Star Wars is my thing, and I think that for me was the moment. Like, I think I know. I did shed a tear or two when Luke turned up, even though it wasn't like brilliant. Like the CGI was pretty bad. It was pretty janky. But the scene, there was something about the scene that really meant so much to me. Just seeing Luke be so badass.
It was Baby Yoda touching the screen. That's what.
Oh, that was
that's
so
what
good.
That was awesome.
So
I was just like, wow, like that. I felt it.
Yeah.
Star Wars is very personal to me. Yeah. I saw Star Wars on opening day, May 25th, 1977. I was lucky. I was in Sacramento, California. We were among a few theaters that had Star Wars on opening day. I had no idea what it was. My sister's boyfriend at the time had tickets. He worked at a theater. He goes, "Hey, you guys are going to see Star Wars tonight?" I'm like, what's Star Wars? I was like 9 years old, you know?
Yeah.
So I watched this film I saw no trailers of. Like, what am I watching? I mean, it totally blew my mind, you know?
I can imagine at the time it would have,
Oh, God, I'll never forget the screaming and yelling when Han Solo showed up at the end, you know? And that reminded me of the Luke scene in Mandalorian, like the hero comes to save the day.
Yeah.
That's the impact that it had on me. Now, you know, when you're 9, now I'm 52, like, it had the same emotional impact on me, so it was very personal.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
It was incredible.
I'm glad I didn't spoil myself before seeing that. That's something you had to kind of see, you know. Personally.
Yeah, and it's something that I have to actually commend Disney for because that's the sort of thing that really could have been leaked.
Yeah, it could have.
And I'm really
it could have, Mikey.
Yeah,
I know, right?
But it's like why are you two laughing? What happened? Did Mikey leak it?
Mikey knew the whole time.
Mikey knew the whole time.
Well, I knew, but I didn't believe it. See, sometimes you get a scoop and you're not really okay. No, they wouldn't. In my mind, because you know, like you, Edward, when you get a scoop, your mind is thinking, "Is this logical?"
Yeah.
Like.
I'm just glad, Mikey, you didn't ruin it for me when you found out.
I'm thinking it's TiVo every time you do that.
No, TiVo's got an introduction one because he's late, but like every time there's only a few series that I don't want spoilers for, and thankfully you've been holding to that. Except when you sent me that WandaVision thing, but
well, when you get a scoop, you're like, okay, does it make sense? And so I was thinking, wouldn't it be jarring to have Luke Skywalker just show up out of nowhere? Then they kind of hinted that the Jedi was gonna get Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
Well, there's I mean, I remember watching that scene and even then, like, I think I knew the minute I saw the X-wing, but I was kind of thinking. I was thinking it'd be so weird if it was that I can't remember what his name is, but the guy that we saw in the X-wing, he's in a show that a lot of people like. I think it's a Canadian show. The Asian guy. I can't remember what his name is. The actor and the. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be like hilarious if he turned out to be a Jedi Knight?
Kim's Convenience, that guy.
Yes, Kim's Convenience. That's the show he's in. And I was like, it'd be hilarious if it was.
That would be hilarious.
But so like you said though, Mikey, they leaned pretty hard into a Jedi needed to find Baby Yoda. The Ahsoka episode. I mean, all she really had to do was say, you know, Luke is going to find you. Like, when you rewatch it now, you're like, okay, she was heavily hinting.
It could have been Ezra Bridger.
I may have told some people that Mark Hamill was going to show up at the end.
Yeah. Did you tell James? You didn't tell James, did you?
But I had a hard time believing it because Lucasfilm was so adamant about Rise of Skywalker being it. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Let the past die.
Let the past die, right? So Kathleen Kennedy allowed this, and then.
I see.
You see.
Kathleen Kennedy, she's not so bad, right?
She's staying for a long time. Again, we spoke about this Syl before.
I'm like, hey, you gotta give her credit.
Sure enough, he did show up. So I was still shocked because I was like, no, this couldn't happen. But when I saw his X-Wing, my heart started to beat really fast. And I'm like, oh my God.
I had to see
Mark Hamill.
I had to see the black robe first because I'm not as deep in as probably both of y'all in Star Wars. So once I saw the black robe, I was like, okay, that's Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Like there's no way.
What I really liked was the way they matched his fighting style to Darth Vader in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Very similar scene, and you could really tell, like, they are very.
That
similar.
was awesome. That was awesome. They really paid that off. And then Pedro Pascal, he got the chance to take the helmet off.
Yeah, Grace. Yeah, Grace. Where is she? She's gonna come in the show any moment now. Like,
he really showed some range.
That was real. I swear. honestly, like no shame, no shame.
That's.
I wrote a whole article about that. How I was like,
I had to debunk that whole thing.
Yeah, it was. It's actually kind of shameful that she did that because it's shitting over Pedro Pascal. And it's like people might not want to work with him because they think he's difficult to work with.
So season 3 is not Boba Fett.
I know. Honestly, if I do that again, I'm gonna lose my shit. Right?
I remember we talked the next day, Edward. He was like, I'm writing an article right now about this.
Yeah, and I was like, this is stupid. It was misinformation.
It was an end credit scene setting up, another series. That's all.
No, you see, I was right. They're getting rid of Pedro Pascal. It's gonna be Boba Fett.
I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions.
I asked people after she said, about Pedro Pascal. I asked people like, "Is this true?" And like, you're not believing it's trash, are you? I said, no, I'm not believing it.
The Book of Mormon is bloody. The Mandalorian season 3. Get out of here. Get out of here. Take a hike. Come on.
That would be the colossal fail of a series with a high note, the Luke Skywalker moment, and then you take out the main character. Yeah.
The thing is, it's like there's a lot of stuff. Grace obviously has her sources. There's a lot of stuff that she does and she shares, and it's like, okay, that happens. Fair, yeah. The thing is, she never admits an L. She never says, you know what, my sources are wrong here, and that's the thing that really, it really you should do now. It's like she's been in the business for long enough, but she doesn't. She doubles down, and that's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem. And that's why people, and it's like she does it. Reese says it. She relies too much on rumors and not enough common sense.
Well, that sounds like us with WandaVision.
I mean, the rumor. I like to break it down and like this makes sense. Like, this is completely ludicrous.
I mean, we are going to do a show, or I think all of us together, we're going to do a show about the scooping game, and I think Grace Renoff will have to be a point that we're going
to. No, it's going to be a nice long form YouTube video that I'll cut together. But we can all do voices. You guys can all do voices on it.
Because he pops in and pops out. He loves that, doesn't he?
It fits him though. That guy James.
It does fit him. Yeah, he's very much like producer Jamie on the Joe Rogan show. It's like, hey, get that clip and do that, and then say some common sense at some point. Like, that's what he's like. But it's like it's just that.
Chill.
Okay, now that's a DC film I have not sat through. Batman and Robin, I couldn't do it.
It's a fun watch, though.
Man, I couldn't
Not saying it's a good watch. I'm saying it's a fun.
I will say I love Batman Forever. I will say that, but Batman and Robin, that's a bridge too far, man.
I wouldn't mind that Schumacher cut of that, but I like.
I want to see that. I want to see the Schumacher cut.
I think that's going to be after David Ayer. That's going to be the next thing. I think people are going to try and get that out. HBO Max is the perfect place for it, and they can just release it. It's ready made.
Just throw it out there.
Yeah, Mikey, I think you've got
Team Megaforce.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
I love that so much.
It's time to release the scoop.
Release the Kraken.
Release the scoop.
Super Team Megaforce.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I wish it was DC, so but it was DC. I probably bring it on your show. So
Yeah. That's fair.
Go on, what's the scoop? What's the scoop?
Well, I am probably best known for my Spider-Man scoops.
Yes.
And I managed to get one just in time for this show. Otherwise, I would have been forced to drop a detective ship.
What's happening? Tell us.
Okay, a little bit of backstory before I drop it. Marvel Studios has not used Norman Osborn yet.
Yeah.
For their Spider-Man films. There's not even any discussion of him or anything. I mean, it's one of those really famous villains that they've left off. And the main reason for that is he was used so many times.
Yeah.
And by my count, 3 times in a Sony series. If you include Spider-Man 3, which is a version of the Moo Goblin.
Yeah.
They used. But I'm now hearing that Feige wants to use Norman Osborn.
Oh.
And have him face Peter in the College trilogy. Apparently not as a villain at first. He is a person that Peter Parker will admire. And they want to cast a award-winning actor to play Norman Osborn, and no negotiations have begun yet.
Yeah.
The actor they are looking at is Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
So Breaking Bad. Goblin goes Breaking Bad.
I would love that.
Wow. Bryan Cranston. So I don't know if you guys have been watching, but there's a show that he's in at the moment called Your Honor, which is brilliant. So if you guys can catch that, it's really, really good. And he's the lead in it. It's brilliant. You should watch it. Cool. So yeah, it looks like that's some brilliant.
He's the front runner, quote unquote, for Norman Osborn. And in the beginning, he's not a villain. I mean, very influential man. Now, the question remains: are they going to have him become the Green Goblin? Because Kevin Feige wants to do a fresh new take on the character.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will end up being the Green Goblin, but just because just to have people's expectations and also the kind of legacy of him being the Green Goblin. But that's one of the reasons why they wanted to go with the Hobgoblin with Ned Leeds, because again, fresh new take. They don't want to copy what Sony did or do another version of it.
Yeah.
But Bryan Cranston is who they're eyeing for as Osborn.
So does this mean no Willem Dafoe back?
No.
The
movie, no. I read that and I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Sony is not that dumb. I mean,
But that's such good casting. Bryan Cranston's an actor in the MCU too. Is he?
Is he?
No, I don't think so.
He has it in quotes, so.
Yeah, maybe. But that's a one. Oh, maybe that Bryan Cranston was actually named in the MCU. Like actually, was named in the film.
So this would be a span. This would be a span of several movies. Okay.
Yeah, there's more to this though.
And there's more. Wait,
there's more.
He hasn't done
there's more.
I pull up this article.
Again, they're looking for ways.
Wait, there's more.
That's perfect.
They're looking for ways of introducing the character in a fresh way in the MCU. Kevin Feige has talked about Norman Osborn leading the Thunderbolts. Now there is an issue with that. And the issue is that Feige doesn't want a Thunderbolts movie. It's a villain film.
Yes.
So Thunderbolts are planned for Disney Plus as a series.
That is very cool.
Now he feels that Bryan Cranston as Norman Osborn leading this team would be incredible. I mean, it'll be a new take on Green Goblin as well.
Yeah.
But there are the legal entanglements though, because they would have to deal with Sony using the character on a TV show for their streaming channel. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but
I'm leaning towards impossible on that one. But
more likely they will use Thunderbolt Ross to lead the Thunderbolts. With Red Hulk. More likely
because I don't think so. I don't think Disney wants Sony getting any money off their series.
Exactly. So exactly, and that's where the issue lies. So they're kind of caught in between. Like, man, wouldn't it be great to have Bryan Cranston on a Thunderbolt show
in anything? Bryan Cranston in anything.
You know, the whole Sony thing. You know, so. Yeah. More likely that he will be Norman Osborn, but not be the Thunderbolts leader. That's what I'm.
And you haven't heard yet whether he's going to be like Green Goblin or not.
Not yet. Every time my sources have mentioned Norman Osborn, it's Norman Osborn, and as they never say Green Goblin.
Okay. I can see that though.
They could lead up to it. Maybe like a more scary looking goblin, like with some makeup, make his face all like monstrous and everything. It could lead up to that. If only Disney had all the rights.
Or just Norman with powers. Maybe if he wants to do something so different, like maybe just have Norman get enhanced abilities, but still have Bryan Cranston, there, so.
And Jonathan actually elaborated. He was in WandaVision because he was in that episode of Malcolm in the Middle that they were.
That's right. That's
true.
So
in a way,
in a way, he is an MCU actor.
So Bryan Cranston is a front runner for Norman Osborn, and for years there was so much speculation on Norman Osborn in the MCU for years. I kept shutting it down.
Yeah,
because the speculation surrounded that he was a big bad. I'm like, Marvel Studios will not make a Sony bad guy the big bad.
Right.
It's not going to happen. They're not going to build up to a Sony big bad because where did the rug get pulled out from under them? And I was like, oh.
So you were saying that basically he's going to be almost maybe not a mentor, but someone that Peter Parker looks up to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good because you've been talking about this before that the next films are going to be centered around Peter Parker in college
years.
So that would make sense. It's like rather than having what's his name, the one that ends up turning into the lizard, Doctor. Can't remember his name. Connors. Yeah. Rather than having Dr. Connors, it'd be Norman Osborn.
Well, what I'm thinking of, and I wasn't told this, it's just my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
I think of the film Wall Street with Michael Douglas and being the mentor, kind of that, just the bad influence on Peter in his college years, where he's trying to become an adult.
Yeah.
And he sees his very successful man, who seems nicer for very on the evil side to him.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Reese says, perhaps Norman will be inspired by the Ultimate Goblin where he transforms into a goblin instead of wearing a suit.
You know what? I mean, I did scoop the Ultimate Goblin before. I mean, that's actually possible. I mean,
really? That's possible?
I think it's possible. But I'm not sure, again. Like, there was no mention of the Goblin whenever I talked to these people about it. They just said Norman Osborn.
And basically, what this means is it frees up Willem Dafoe to play the Joker.
There you go.
That's what it does.
Oh, hey, Mephisto. There you go, man.
Mephisto.
But man, Bryan Cranston is a win, though. If they get Cranston, man, that would be awesome.
Norman going to make Peter drink. He's going to get him drunk.
They're thinking of Cranston's likability in Breaking Bad, but also his evil side that you saw at the same time.
Yeah,
the way he balances both roles.
He can do it. He can do it so well.
He can pull it off so well.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He is genuinely, I think, one of the best actors working around. Like, if you think, honestly, everything I've ever seen him in, he's got so much range. He goes from like Malcolm in the Middle to he's like an oaf, and he's a bit of an idiot, to Breaking Bad. And even like his like very brief moments in the Godzilla film, in Godzilla, the 2014 film, he's brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
And then he's in Your Honor now as well. He was in Drive? He was really good in Drive, actually. So he's like,
he's just with Kevin Hart. He's great in that movie as well. So he's great in everything he does, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he's so good. And again, imagine if Bryan Cranston would have played Lex Luthor and
Zach was going to use
Zordon. Well, actually, Bryan Cranston was the original voice of Zordon, which is why they got him to do the head. So that was one of his very first roles. Actually, was doing the voice of Zordon in the Power Rangers TV show.
Yeah.
Story with the Snyderverse is that Cranston was going to be Lex, but then Zach wanted to do the more of the origin of Lex, so that's why he got Eisenberg.
I think Zach.
What?
Zach wanted his Lex Luthor to be Mark Zuckerberg. That's what he wanted, and he saw the social network. He's like, that guy. Let's cut his hair off.
Pretty much. But yeah, it was rumored that he was going to do the old Lex first, and then he wanted the Zuckerberg. So
let's be honest. Bryan Cranston would have been much better than Jesse Eisenberg
if you wanted that type of Lex. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see what Eisenberg does tomorrow.
Let's just say pee in a jar and then leave it at that. Honestly.
That was effective.
Syl's gonna have a screening party at his house. Can you give us the address, please? We go knock on your door.
Live streaming on
like streaming, yeah. Hey, Warner Brothers, look, I can link it for you guys.
Take that, right? It's not Tom and Jerry either.
Oh man! I still can't believe that actually happened. I still can't believe that they released the Snyder Cut as Tom and Jerry. That's like a joke. That's like something that's like 2021. You remember that time that that Zack Snyder's Justice League was released as Tom and Jerry on HBO Max? It's crazy. It's generally crazy.
It's so deliberate. Like
here we go. One more question. Lords of
Tom and Jerry.
He missed it. He missed the scoop.
Go to GeekosityMag.com.
He knows he missed the scoop.
He knows he missed.
I want to ask my producer James. I have another bullet in my arsenal here. Should I?
Yeah, go for it.
Should I release the Kraken?
Shut up!
Uh-oh.
Well, Timo, what was it? Timo, hold on. He's going mad in the comments. He's going insane.
Come on.
The show's over.
Oh man, you got to join the show.
Super Team Megaforce.
Oh man, is that James saying you can release Kraken?
So Fang Foom. Okay, anyway.
Shut up!
I've lost all control. This is what happens at the end, and like it's coming to the 2-hour mark of the show, and it just loses it. The super
I watch your enemies, see them driven before you, and I hear the lamentation of their women.
Arnold's the star of the show. Like it's apparent to me now.
Yeah, well, we did say special guests,
Yeah.
Do it.
2 hours into a show, the green tea kicks in. And I'm gonna start talking Detroit, so you guys watch out.
Oh man!
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Timo,
I want to keep Edward up another hour.
I forget. Yeah, it's like 4 your time right now.
Coming up to 4 o'clock. Yeah,
we're gonna have a wake-a-thon for Edward here.
I don't mind, man. I honestly, this is the kind of thing that I do on a regular basis now. What with like the Disney Investors Call, the Oscars is coming up as well, so I'm going to be up all night for that one as well. So
you're in a way different time zone over there.
I need to move. What I need to do is move to the US or Canada.
There you go.
Yeah, you're gonna move to Canada, man.
I'm going to have to move to Canada,
Yeah, but then WandaVision was a good time for you every time it debuted. You know?
Actually, you know what? I know you're seeing it tomorrow, Syl, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out in France before everyone, apart from the very lucky people that get to see it first. It's coming out in France first.
Is it really before everyone? Is it really?
before the rest of the
What's going to happen is that Syl will have his popcorn ready. He's waiting. All of a sudden, they actually send him Tom and Jerry instead.
That would be like a crazy troll. Oh,
Tom and Jerry Snyder Cut.
If they give me Tom and Jerry. Oh, man. I will sue HBO Max if they do this to me.
Oh dear! I think there are a lot of parents that are very pissed off with HBO Max. Actually, a lot of kids watching Tom and Jerry and being scarred for life.
Sure, the kids loved it.
Apparently, the beginning is quite violent. No, that's what I heard.
I'm about to find out.
Mikey already knows. Mikey's already watched the first 2 hours.
Yeah. I just have one quick question.
It's never quick.
When is he coming? Every time I see
that
him,
was
I'm
it.
like,
I think I'm waiting for Great Pumpkin here. He's not arriving yet.
Oh man!
Right. So what? I think I've lost.
Tom and Jerry shows up instead of TiVo.
I better not see no Tom and Jerry tomorrow. I'm just saying. I watched it one time for the little girls, but I'm not doing that anymore.
Give me a
see Tom and Jerry.
Are you still gonna watch the Kevin Smith and Zack Snyder premiere?
Oh yeah, the premiere. Yeah. I RSVP'd for that, so I'm gonna take part in that. And
do you think it'll be better than the one Kevin Smith did with Jeff Johns?
I'm pretty sure it will be, but I think there's gonna be some cool guests. The cast we're expecting to kind of Zoom call in, and so I mean it's gonna be fun. Any event this next week, I'm gonna try to be a part of it for the Snyder Cut.
It'll be in the back of his mind. Hope Tom and Jerry is not the movie I'm about to see right now. You better have to make a mistake.
You're gonna have Chloe Grace Moretz there, and all the great actors. Who else is in Tom and Jerry? What are the other actors in that?
That's pretty much it.
Who?
Those show Scooby Doo instead.
Man.
So
right.
You had something that you weren't sure you were going to talk about. You posted.
Well, I don't know if you guys are interested in this at all, but there's a little movie that I love called Face Off, and it was revealed a couple of weeks back that Adam Wingard is going to be doing not a remake but a sequel. Yes. So actually, what I've been told is that, of course, Adam Wingard. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy that directed You're Next, he directed The Guest, and he's directed Godzilla vs. Kong, which actually you might be seeing tomorrow instead of Zack Snyder.
I think he's going to do a good job with that too.
He also directed an awful movie called Death Note, which was a terrible, terrible movie on Netflix. But he's a good director. Apart from that, all this stuff has been decent. But what I've been told is that Nicolas Cage and John Travolta are both in talks to return for this sequel. Now, I did ask around because I was like, this is slightly weird because Nicolas Cage dies in the first movie, so I'm like, how the hell is he going to come back? But apparently, when there's a will, there's a way, and they really want to get them both back together again. So, I mean, I think it's I'm pretty sure John Travolta is going to be a part of the main story, and Nicolas Cage might. I don't know how he's going to come into it, but I did ask around, and they were like they're finding a way to bring them back. Apparently, Adam Wingard is very keen
somewhere, right?
Yeah, and but that'll be including de-aging, so CGI de-aging to make him look like he was in the original movie. But I think the idea is to have them the way they look now. And I know that, like, I was told specifically that John Travolta is going to be the character he played in Face Off because he survived that movie. So he'll still be the same character, but it'll be like a kind of. I think it's going to be Nicolas Cage kind of haunting him. Almost, so it's going to be a pretty cool thing. I'm really excited for this movie. First off, I love the fact they decided to make this a sequel and not a remake, because the original was directed by John Woo. I love his martial arts movies; they're incredible.
Hard Boiled is amazing. It's
so good. Unfortunately, his Mission Impossible film wasn't very very good, but yeah, he did get the dubs in there. But Face Off is it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a mad movie.
That's a great film.
But
I love John Woo as well. I think Hard Boiled was like one of the
Hard Boiled is pretty
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical of the sequel though, but I'll see what Wingard has with Godzilla vs. Kong.
Well, the fact that Paramount Pictures have got him to do this film already, to me, basically, I've been told that apparently Godzilla vs. Kong is amazing.
I'm sure it is.
Apparently, Paramount Pictures are really, really keen on getting him on board because they were so impressed with what he did.
He's writing this too.
Yeah, he's writing Face Off as well. So it's his idea, and I think he's pitched something that they really like and they really want. And honestly, at the moment, if either actor gets offered something, they'll take it. So I'm pretty sure they will be back in the movie.
Yeah, they'll be back.
Yeah,
Mike, you want to take this question? Edward, you want to do your narrator voiceover?
It's a bit too late for me now to do that. I'm going to go with John Watts having his hands full with the Fantastic Four. Do you think there would be a possibility for the Russo brothers to direct the new Spidey trilogy?
I don't think they're gonna go with the Russo brothers.
No, what I've heard is that they're very interested in doing a Logan film, a Wolverine movie.
Yes,
yeah, it's the film they really want to do, and actually, to be honest, the Russo brothers are having some trouble at the moment with Cherry doing so badly.
As long as it's not a Cherry sequel, I'll be all aboard.
The thing is, the Russo brothers, everything they've done outside of the MCU, apart from Community, so I loved Community.
Yeah,
everything they've done outside the MCU has been piss poor. It's been awful.
Even that Chadwick Boseman film they tried to do with him.
Yeah, it was bad.
He couldn't even save that film.
That film, I don't think they directed that though. I think that was a produced. They
produced it.
They produced Extraction. They produced Extraction, and I think the reason Extraction is decent is because of the director they chose. So they chose
Collinwood was good.
Sorry,
Welcome to Collinwood was good.
I didn't see it.
You haven't seen that with George Clooney and what's his name from Shameless?
I don't think I've seen
it. Yeah, William H. Macy. No, I didn't see that.
But Cherry's bad.
But yeah, Cherry apparently is really bad. And it's just strange that that's the project they decided to do after Endgame. Literally the biggest movie ever made.
It looks good. The cinematography is excellent.
Yeah.
But it's just you're watching the train wreck like in HD.
Any updates on the RoboCop sequel? So I didn't actually know they were doing a RoboCop sequel.
Yeah, there is one.
I didn't know there was one. Is this a sequel to the Joel Kinnaman movie? I don't know. I didn't know they were doing a sequel. That Joel Kinnaman film wasn't good anyway. I love the original RoboCop, but actually I rewatched Starship Troopers the other day. That's such a good film. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I haven't seen that in ages.
It's really.
I'm sure it's very dated now, is it?
I don't know. I didn't think it was because it's.
Okay, I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's kind of a pastiche. So
RoboCop was brilliant. Though.
RoboCop's so good. So it's Paul Verhoeven, brilliant.
He did Flesh and Blood too back in the 86.
Yeah, incredible. I don't know. Was he ever lined up to do a comic book movie?
Man,
I don't know.
There was so much stuff optioned in the late 80s and 90s. I can't remember.
Yeah,
they did. So much stuff never got made. Like all these directors were attached to this or that. But
yes, EJ Bass, you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a sequel to the original RoboCop films. It's apparently called RoboCop Returns. Wow, I haven't heard anything about that.
Pulling your leg.
I think you are as well. But RoboCop Returns.
I don't know about that one, Reese.
Oh man, a team that can let Reese's comments slide off their backs. Oh man, but no, there's some cool stuff. I think the face-off thing was kind of a bit of a came out of nowhere, really. I think it was revealed by Deadline, I think it was. And then Adam Wingard, I think, is a really, really good choice for it. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. We are in an age now where we seem to be getting a lot of remakes. So I'm kind of happy that it's a sequel because I'm kind of done with remakes now. I think it has
to have someone like creatively attached to it. You know, the Wingard. I think it's going to be a hot name after Godzilla vs Kong. So we'll see.
Man, that when is that coming out? Godzilla vs. It's pretty soon as well, isn't it?
31st.
31st. It's a good time to have HBO Max in the US, isn't it?
I tell you, man.
Oh man, who do you think is going to win in that? Do you think Godzilla or Kong? Because one of them is going to win. So who's going to win?
They keep hinting that King Kong's dying, like in every episode, every commercial now. So I'm thinking the whole Godzilla.
So that's what they're saying at the moment. It's going to be a Mecha Godzilla. Yeah. It's going to be coming into it, and they're going to fight together. To defeat
I think Kong's going to die in that fight, and then Godzilla's going to, they're going to get some plot armor for Godzilla to win.
Here we go. Vision and the Scarlet Witch. So what's going on?
My cousin Brian is watching.
Kong will most likely die.
My cousin Brian.
Keep making Godzilla movies.
You see, look, TiVo, you're in the comments, but what on earth are you doing? Because
he said he's got Windows Update on his PC. So my cousin Brian is watching, and he got me into comic books as at a young age. Pretty much started my career. I got to mail him my other T-shirt of this, but he just told me he got a WandaVision shirt, so I want to show this off.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
You got Mac this.
Now Reese is doubling down. He says RoboCop returns is real. Maybe we should write this up as an exclusive, Reese. I don't think I've seen that anyway.
Let's quote him. I heard nothing about that.
So is Reese or John Boyega source?
Yeah,
Reese is John Boyega.
That was.
It was great scooping Syl for the first time. Like
that was it.
Turning tables around.
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to shoot it down. I was like, no. I was like, he's really saying this.
I was very happy.
Thank you, Syl. The great scoop.
So we'll see.
Okay.
So the Illuminati Silk is in development. Mikey scooped that a year ago?
Yep, I was.
Yeah, which is fine. Everyone has different sources, but he scooped and he said it would be. They wanted it for Amazon Prime, but with the distribution, I'm trying to remember the article. You said more likely Hulu or Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah. It was Disney Plus, yeah. We were still working on a deal for that, so I don't know where it went.
I'm hearing a lot of rumors that Disney at the moment is working on licensing their properties out to other streaming services, which I've heard like a weird rumor that they're making an Alien TV show for Netflix, like
that was bizarre.
And they're saying animated. So I'm like, what is going? That doesn't sound right to me.
No, because because Hulu has adult animation on there, so they can.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah. Well, but they are bringing an Alien TV show, the Noah Hawley TV show. They're bringing that to. I think it is FX. They're bringing it to. So it'll be like Star. I think outside of the
Star. Outside the States.
Well, so that's basically the Hulu of overseas, basically. I mean,
Right. But no, I mean, the rumor is that they're going to make an Alien animated TV show. Now, I don't want to mention again where this comes from.
Oh my god!
I saw it too.
Hey, remember, we don't do the petty flame wars, right?
No, we don't. We don't.
But I was telling James, like, why would Disney help one of their competitors? I mean, they're their main competitor,
right?
With their own property, like.
What? Okay, James. What we're saying is that we don't do the petty thing because we invite everyone onto the show.
Exactly.
Anyone can come here and defend themselves and talk about their scoop. We don't. You know, honestly, we just want to talk about cool stuff. I would love to see an animated Alien show. I think that'd be really, really cool. But it's just the Netflix thing was a bit weird. I'm like, why wouldn't they just put it?
That was a little weird
for sure. Put it on Star, right?
I mean, I did reach out to their reps, prior. It was like a couple weeks ago, and they don't want to go on any podcast, but that's cool. I mean, Illuminati will probably want to come on here, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely. I mean, Illuminati unfortunately had some heat from. They've been gunned, as they like to call it. I have been gunned. I think I'm not sure if Mike.
I have actually never. Okay, let me check that. I only scooped James Gunn one time, and it was correct. And it's only because somebody has seen the movie.
But did he gun you anyway? Because he does that.
And no one knew who I was back then. But I said that Stan Lee is a watcher.
Yeah.
And he'd be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And somebody has seen the movie. In fact, he's a. I went public with this a couple of years ago. He's a Marvel Comics artist. And he went to a screening and he told me, hey, Stan Lee's a watcher. And I was there. I was at the screening, like, oh, okay. So, but he is very difficult to scoop. I mean, there's not much leaks from his projects.
It's a lot of fake leaks.
And he doesn't lie. I mean, James Gunn, he'll either not say anything or he'll say, nope, that's bogus.
Well, he did lie about Ego, the Living Planet.
Okay, maybe that one.
Yeah, he did, and that was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
And and it's like I think he takes immense pleasure out of calling bullshit on everything.
He slayed the other night, man.
So,
he loves it. He really does.
I have to sign off in a few minutes. I just want to, James. Should I?
Yeah, go ahead. Drop that other scoop.
All right.
But as long as you get it to me before midnight tonight, and I can put it up on.
That's already. It's been there.
Oh, you put it in the drafts?
Yeah.
He's running the show, James.
The second part of
behind the scenes at
the second part of Bryan Cranston.
This is a real conversation.
You mean, yeah, I was editing them while you guys were talking earlier. This one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you already said. Go ahead. It's up live.
So Thunderbolts will be a Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Spun off from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You see how Mikey does it? Is people picking up on how Mikey does his scoops?
He does it. He does it.
He teases the one, and then it's oh my goodness.
And you're very good at picking up on that, Syl.
And as far as who the members are, Taskmaster, Thunderbolt Ross, are among them. But also, I am hearing that Paladin will be joining the Thunderbolts. Now, for those who don't know who Paladin is, he is a mercenary who is in the Thunderbolts comic book, but also his appearance will tie in with a Daredevil reboot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because he'll be a regular on Daredevil's new show.
So Taskmaster's interesting because again, everyone was pointing towards the Black Widow film as teasing. So we kind of see that connection now even more.
Yeah.
And when Mikey writes a scoop, he'll send it to me and I'll review it. And I said, Mike, there's like 5 scoops in here. Other person can pick it apart and make 5 articles on it.
Yeah.
We gotta, like this, the Thunderbolts and the Norman Osborn was 1 article. I said, no, we gotta put this.
Yeah, that's 2. That's
please.
Yeah.
Well, like a few days ago, I won't say who, but I ran a scoop and it became like 3 or 4 articles elsewhere.
What's that? Actually, that probably was me.
No, you're starting to, but I mean that's good stuff, right? But
I should add that Baron Zemo obviously is a character spinning off from Falcon and Winter Soldier into Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Paladin is the character they're talking about introducing, and he will be in a Daredevil show. One of my favorite B-list characters. I find him very interesting.
Paladin is a good character, yeah.
So you just say Zemo is
Zemo
will be in the so that's that connection. Everyone said with Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
and how it ties in with what I was saying earlier was that Bryan Cranston's Norman Osborn. Kevin Feige would like to see him in Thunderbolts, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see
the
that.
whole Sony thing. You have Red Hulk in here already. Well, you don't need
right.
that much.
Will Deadpool be in it?
Huh? Deadpool?
Will Deadpool
I don't think so.
No. No.
But wouldn't that be awesome? Deadpool was
play that clip for Syl now.
Oh my goodness! It's
it annoys him
so
much.
This is dramatic, so dramatic.
Knock, knock.
All right, well, time to end the show. Everybody have a good night.
I'm about to take off already.
Karate Man, bro.
You're late.
Traffic.
What I miss? All I can say is a Karate Man bruise on the inside. I'm a chain belt kung fu master.
Well, you missed Fing Fang Foom versus Mephisto. No, just kidding. Bryan Cranston is the front runner for Norman Osborn.
Yeah, you missed that. You missed that Bryan Cranston is coming into
possibly
possibly to play Norman Osborn in the MCU.
The ironic thing is there's an actual character named Bryan Cranston in the Marvel Comics.
Of course you would know that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, that's why he wanted us to wait on the scoop so we could show the comic book spec list on it.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I looked it up and it was like there was like a character and his name was, and this was on a recent long-term spec list we had, which was, and I just have one quick question. I'm trying to look it up now because when I was looking on the website, I was like, well, that's odd. There's a character named, Brian Cranston. Yeah. So I mean, it's weird, but
wild.
You know how sometimes you get the spec and it's kind of like, well, we're just hearing this, and you're thinking, well, what if it's that character or this character or some crazy shit that they say for like, oh, we can't talk shit about people.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay.
We kind of have the whole show. So.
Yeah,
okay.
You're mono, You're left.
Hey guys, I gotta sign off.
Hold on.
I guess I gotta sign off. So.
Mikey's gotta go, Tivo.
Yeah, I got a phone conference. So.
All right.
Till next time,
man.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Great show, man. So yeah, we'll be doing this again, and I'll be at there's a long box show on Sunday. So
yes, there is. Yes.
I'll be answering questions.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you guys. Great first show.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming on to Super Team Megaforce.
Super Team Megaforce.
I gotta see Captain Britain. It's important.
I've been told by Kevin Feige I'm going to be in the animated version. It'll be Henry Cavill in the MCU and me in the animated version.
Gotta join the M16, right? M16.
Yeah. Thanks,
man.
Mikey.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Take care, brother.
See you tonight, Tivo.
All right, well, that was fun. Nice seeing you guys.
All right.
I was saying we could do it.
Oh wow!
I can see he's still talking as well.
He's still talking.
Super Team Megaforce.
Can it really be a super team without me on it?
No, we were waiting around. We were waiting.
I was looking at my computer for a good fucking 45 minutes. There was a major Windows 10 update, and I was like, oh, shit. And that's probably why you only hear audio on one side. I wonder. I have to reset my Focusrite setting, so.
You lie!
We can do it again. We could talk about Kanto. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
No.
Well, Kanto is a IDW comic that just got picked up by Will Smith's production company. It's going to be a feature animated film.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Very interesting. It's a tiny little comic book now nobody's ever heard of, and now it's first issue selling for like $900.
Will Smith is kind of dipping in a lot of stuff, right? And Cobra Kai.
If it's got Will Smith money behind it, it's going to do big things. So it's going to be an animated feature film. So Will Smith's productions company is working on it. It's called Kanto. We could talk about that next time. If you haven't seen it, if you've never heard of it, I don't blame you. It's a very small print run. We're talking like a comic nobody's ever heard of, but we'll let that work go to sleep, man. I haven't even eaten yet. I was moderating another show, and then I went upstairs, and I was like, went on my computer. I go, oh my god, the dreaded Windows Update wait screen. I was like, shit.
Oh man.
Well, next Friday, Edward, I'll promise to be on time.
Well, 2 weeks from now, right?
2 weeks, yeah. It'll be every 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It'll be every 2 weeks, yeah.
You're late.
Traffic.
Well, in that case, this is just a cameo appearance of the Super Mega Team Force then, because I showed up. I showed up in the last panel.
It was built that way.
Well, I was supposed to be in at 6 p.m. an hour and 15 minutes ago, but things went a little late, man. Anyway, I got to run. So,
cool. Well, thank you for the cameo appearance.
Let Edward go to sleep for God's sakes, James. What's your problem? I know you have odd hours. Let Edward sleep.
Yeah,
I only have odd hours because I got to run a bunch of stuff. It's like you with your Lords of the Long Box.
Yeah.
I do mine during the day, man. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But we'll talk about it next time, Edward. Since you can only hear me in one ear.
Yeah. Only one ear.
That is weird.
Everyone.
You got to sort that out for your next show.
Somebody done hacked me.
That could be a shtick.
I just have one quick question. I just have one quick question. Why is James in the dark?
I don't have those rugged good looks like you do.
And why does he have pants on?
He
never wear pants on.
Find out in 2 weeks.
I don't think he does. So, are we all going to team up to do the Snyder Cut review or what?
Yes. Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah. We definitely
will be totally
Y'all pick the
unbiased.
Yeah.
I'll give my
That's
honest and
something
correct
people
opinion
do.
about it.
Yeah.
I think Tivo's gonna like it.
Yeah, I think Tivo's gonna love it. He's gonna be wearing a Zack Snyder Justice League 2 t-shirt.
Karate Man bruises on the inside, man.
That's dope.
All right, fellas. Good. Have a good night or good morning, Edward.
Take care, brother.
Sleep,
All right, James.
Thank you very much for this. Literally
Super Team Megaforce.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round up the show because I do need to go to bed. But thank you, James in the dark because sunlight kills sparrows.
No.
You know, the thing is, Reese, we need to give you a Medal of Honor because you've been in this from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Reese. It's been brilliant. And this whole show has been, I think a success. It's been a success.
Oh, this is fun.
Apart from TiVo, it's been great.
I just have one quick question.
Literally, the guy comes in late, and then he's only you can only hear him in one ear. So
we love him anyways.
Yeah,
he didn't disappoint.
Okay, let me do a Cocanium for Kaz before.
Yeah, go on, do one. And Kaz has also been in the chat the whole time. So yeah,
Kaz.
Cocainum.
And I also have to mention Jonathan Barr has been there pretty much since the beginning as well. So thank you,
EJ Bass, for joining in. Appreciate that, brother. He does. He creates Star Trek memes for my other website that I run called thetrekmemes.com. Go check it out if you like Star Trek memes.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for everyone for joining us on this very first Super Megaforce. I got the name wrong.
Super Team Megaforce.
I got the name wrong. It is it's 4:20 over here, so I do need to go to bed. But yeah, if you can plug where you can find you, Syl, and James as well.
Well, it's all about Sylabdul.com. All my links are available there. Sylabdul Inc. is my DC centric. I'm doing another hit piece towards Warner Brothers coming up next week. So thanks to Mikey. And Snyder Cut tomorrow. Woo.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we won't see you for a week online.
You won't see me. I'm going dark.
And where can we find you, James?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at 42cutcom. Super Team Megaforce on Twitter.
We're really fucking up that name.
Yeah, well, I was like, it's actually Super Team MF.
Yeah,
so,
Super Team.
Super Team. YouTube, search out 42cutcom or just click in the link of the description because the channel's there. Help me get to 100 subscribers so I can actually get a shortened URL. That'd be great. I don't really do much with my YouTube channel. It's just a bunch of clips I do for a bunch of weird people like Small Screen and Syl and
I was gonna say.
And you can follow Small Screen Co. because I do a bunch of work for the crazy guy in France. And check out Syl's new rebrand. I did all his graphic design. And of course, GeekosityMag.com. Where Mikey throws down the scoops and we pretend
the brains of all this is James. That guy James.
No, the brains is Mikey. I'm just the guy behind the guy. So
that guy.
Yeah. Just like Edward. So I'm the guy behind the guy.
That guy
still, actually.
He's the producer. That guy James, the producer.
I got a face for radio, so there you
go. And as you said, you can follow Small Screen everywhere at Small Screen Co. and go to the website, which is at small-screen.co.uk. And we are going to release this as a podcast. It's going to be insane. But if you want to listen to it as a podcast, that'll be at Super Team Megaforce. You can find that. It's everywhere. It's been distributed everywhere. So this will be going up tomorrow. And you can also find the podcast I do every other day, Small Screen Stories, also everywhere. So 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, guys. That would be great if you could give us that.
And next show in 2 weeks' time, we have an original piece of art from Joey Sabo, the great cartoonist Joey Sabo. So
and I think Tivo will actually turn up next time. Yeah.
Thank you, Reese.
Put those notifications. Make sure your notifications are on Small Screen Co.
Yeah. And
we're really butchering the social media stuff right now.
Well, I think we're pushing. I think it was great. The push for this was great. Yeah. Great show. Thank you very much. And he digs the name. Clint Baker digs the name. That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Clint. And
somebody does.
Fuck you.
See,
I just have one quick question.
And on that bombshell, I'll bring an end to this show. To this I'm gonna do the voice. I'm gonna do the voice one last time. I fucked it up again.
In a world that is constantly consumed by war, between insiders and scoopers battling on Twitter like little kids in a schoolyard, there is one team that can bring hope. A team that doesn't partake in petty rivalry. A team that sets their egos aside to bring you the scoops they get. A team that fights for enjoying the moment, not the flames of war. That team is Super Team Megaforce!
a team that thinks Edward Lauder should play Captain Britain. A team that makes Syl laugh because it's infectious. A team that brought Mikey Sutton from out of the shadows. A team that tries to control TiVo's monologues. A team that for some reason lets that James guy play silly clips.
Yeah.
This is
Super Team Megaforce!
See,
I just have one quick question.
Digwad.